This is a tutorial how to make a little flat wallet that can be attached in your purse, to your purse, outside or inside, and you can easily switch all your essentials from one purse to another. This little wallet contains 3 spaces for your credit cards or your ID, and a little zip bucket where you can insert your cash, your coins, or your house key when you are on the go. The pattern for the wallet can be purchased at my Etsy store. The link to the pattern will be included in the box below. It's an instant download, so you'll be able to access the pattern right away and print it on your regular A4 size paper. Then you would need some vinyl material or cork fabric, something that will have not edges that would fray. We will have those edges left exposed to create this scalloped finishing touch. You would also need a zipper tape. It could be zipper tape number 3 or 5. I'm using tape number 5 with a zipper pull. You will also need some nylon lining cut to size and some nylon ribbon. You can use a polyester ribbon that is already made. I just cut a piece of nylon lining. You will also need a double-sided tape to help us secure the credit card slots while we're working on them. And to finish up our project, we would need a set of rivets and a snap. You can use a metal snap or a plastic snap, whatever you have available or whatever are your preferences. Also, to achieve the scalloped edge on the wallet, you would need scalloped pinking shears. Those are scalloped pinking shears 7 millimeters, and you could purchase them on Amazon. To begin the project, we will start with attaching the card slots packet. We need to first attach a double-sided tape by the cut openings. So I'm attaching a piece of tape under the first cut and under the second cut. And under the third cut, and also on top of the third slot. That will secure the final packet. Remove the backing of the first strip of the double-sided tape and place the ribbon facing up and in the middle of the cuts. Now we'll take it to the machine and we'll sew just below the first cut around 1/8 of an inch with a 3.5 stitch length, and make sure to backstitch on the beginning and on the end of the seam. The first seam is made. Just a little tip to make sure that your presser foot is sliding nicely on your vinyl. You can use a machine lubricant. I'm using just a Singer lubricant, placing a tiny little bead of the lubricant on top of my vinyl. Please check your machine requirements, what is allowed to lubricate your machine with, to make sure you're not gonna damage your machine. So after the first seam is made, you're gonna flip your project wrong side up, and using the packet template, you're gonna align the edge of the template with the cut and then fold your ribbon. Well, first remove the backing of the tape and then fold your ribbon up and place it on the tape, making sure it sticks to the tape. Then we'll take that to the machine and making sure the ribbon stays in an up position, we'll make another seam just below the second card slot slit. Now you have completed your first credit card pocket. Now we have to repeat that again to complete our second pocket. So just pull your ribbon back, remove the backing of the tape using your card slot template, fold the ribbon up and press to adhere to the double-sided tape. Now take it to the machine and sew just below the third card slot slit. Now your second credit card pocket is completed. We now have to finish up the third one, which it's done similarly. You pull your ribbon back, remove the backing of your double-sided tape, use the credit card slot template, and place and secure the ribbon above the third slot. This time, to complete the third pocket for the card slot, you're gonna sew just above the third slit. Now we have all three card slot pocket completed. This still has the template inside. You can flip it over now and just trim the excess of the ribbon. You can also take it and very, very carefully press it with the iron, making sure you're not going to damage your vinyl. And after that, we will move on to creating the second outside panel with a little zipper pocket. Now we're going to work on our zipper pocket. So we're going to take the second pattern piece with the zipper opening, our zipper tape, and make sure you insert your zipper pull on your zipper. I like my zipper to be closing when I pull from left to right, so that's how I have my zipper placed. I'm gonna pull the zipper to be in a position when it's closed and use double-sided tape to help me with securing the zipper to the outside panel. So I place my double-sided tape by the top edges or the outside edges of the zipper tape. Remove the backing. Sometimes you need to squeeze the ends of the tape for the backing to come out. Make sure my zipper is lying in a correct position. Take my back panel and center the zipper in the opening. Push it gently to make sure that the tape will stick to the back of your vinyl panel. Now take it to the machine and sew around the zipper opening with a 1/8 of an inch seam allowance, and you can use 2.5 or 3.5 stitch length. You can, if you're doing what I'm doing, which is a mixed color wallet, you can change the thread so it matches the color of the panel you are sewing on. After you sewn your zipper on, you can cut off any excess zipper tape. We want to make sure that any zipper tape will be out of the way of the final seam. I cut my zipper with the pinking shears, and I like to melt the cut edges with a lighter to prevent the zipper tape from fraying. Now we're gonna be finishing up our project, and so we're gonna take all our made panels and the lining panel that we cut, and we're gonna create a little sandwich. So we're gonna place the zipper pocket panel right side down, place the lining, making sure it aligns with our cut. This one is double-sided, so it doesn't matter which side is right or left. Place it on top of the panel, and then keeping our pockets on the left side, we're gonna place our credit card slot panel. Now using clips, you should clip all around your project to make sure everything stays in place while we sew. I like to place a good amount of pins, making sure that clips, making sure that my project won't shift. And also, we have to remember to mark a 1/2 inch opening on the top of our wallet to be able to create our credit card slot closure. So what I do, I try to find a middle of the project, making sure the opening will be in the middle of my card slots, and place pins, but only in the inside of the vinyl to do not damage my vinyl. And this way, when I sew, I know where to start my seam and when to end it. I'm gonna be sewing all around my wallet with a 2/8 seam allowance, making sure I backstitch on the beginning of my seam and on the end of my seam. And we want this part to remain unsewn. So we sew our project all the way around, leaving this little 1/2 inch space here. Now what we're gonna do, we're gonna take our scallop pinking shears and cut it out all the way around. This way we will trim all the edges the same size, and we don't have to worry about our panels shifting a little bit. If after cutting around with your pinking shears, you have a little fray edges left because we were using nylon and we are using vinyl, we can just melt all those little tiny threads with our lighter to give it nice smooth finish to the project. Our next step will be to create the closure for our card slots. We would need to cut a strip of vinyl. I want to do a contrasting color, so I'm going to do this turquoise vinyl. You will cut the strip to the measurements provided in the pattern, and we will put the strip together to make the closure. Now to finish up our wallet, we're gonna work on the closure for the credit cards. I cut the strip as provided to the measurements provided in the pattern, and I'm gonna top stitch along the long edges to create a finish strip to secure my credit cards. Now after our strip is done, take the unfinished edge and place it inside the opening. I inserted around 1/2 inch deep to make sure all my seams are covered. Then if you are using a spring-loaded O-ring, you don't have to insert it right now, but if you're using a swivel clasp, you should insert the swivel clasp on right now. Then we want to fold our strip, and if it's a little longer, you can insert it more or just trim it and insert it again, and create a loop on the top of your project. so you can insert your spring-loaded ring or even a key ring. So if you have that loop created, you should take your hole punch, because we're gonna attach that with a rivet, and just punch a hole around where the seam is running. Place your rivet and secure the rivet with your rivet press. Now, to create a closure for your credit card slots, mark a placement of the snap. I like to leave a little piece to grab onto when you're opening your credit card slot. So I like to do it around here. So just make a mark and install your female part of the snap. After your female part of the snap is installed, find a placement of your male snap, punch a hole, and install the male part of the snap. So we are almost done with our project. The last step is to insert our spring loaded O-ring. I insert my cards. They fit nicely. It's easy to close, and with that little end, it's easy to open and access them. We also have a little change packet on the back that has the lining, so it covers all the slot packets. There's no loose material on the back of our packet. And you can now attach this to your purse, or just insert it in your purse and easily switch your purses, just removing one item instead of changing your cards every time you want to use a different wristlet. I hope you like this tutorial, and I hope you're gonna make this little wallet. It's very useful, and it's also a great gift for friends and family.